Welcome to our new series, The 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie. Welcome to episode 4 of the 200 Movie Challenge. We're getting through these, Soto. Can you believe it? I think we
Yeah.
got 5 films to talk about today. But I think this number is a little bit bigger than I expected.
Yeah.
Start
No,
off with.
I don't know what I've been doing all these years. It seems like it's pretty easy to do. Thank God for the weekends. That's what I have to say, because that's usually when I get most of these in. But yeah, I'm surprised. This is some serious output. I thought that this would be more of a challenge than what it's been so far. But 2 feels pretty good. Sometimes 3. I think we're on a pretty good pace.
We are. And, each week we've been flip flopping. So I'm going to go first. But Soto, before I talk about these movies, I kind of want to do something we have not done on this series. And I know I didn't even talk to you about this, but I kind of want to bring this up. I need to make a correction.
Oh.
So last week we were talking about, I was talking about Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And I know my wife gave me a little shit. She thought it was better. I'm like, no, my statement stands to what I said about Beetlejuice. And the thing is, when I watch a movie, I try to, grade it or, put it in the ranking system right afterwards and think about it. Cause I'm like, okay, it's fresh in my mind, but I'm a mailman, and in my mail truck, I think a lot. And I know you brought up, my old ass. And the thing is, it's like, this list should be about my enjoyment of movies. I know this is not what might be the best movie, but it's like how I enjoy it. And I was looking back, I'm like, you're right. Yes, even though my old ass fell apart at the end, it was still an enjoyable film. And Beetlejuice, because of what came before that, should be a lot worse. It should have been a lot better, but it should fall down. So I'm telling you right now,
yeah,
I am flip-flopping my old ass and Beetlejuice. My old ass is going above Beetlejuice. I had them flip-flop, and now I feel confident with my list. I'm liking it because, it's like the top I enjoy, middle, I was like, they're memorable. I might not watch again. And then don't get me wrong, like I've said it, my old ass, we're not going to talk about this movie in 5 years. This is not going to be something down the line where like, that was a great fucking film.
Yeah.
No, it was a good one. And I did like it. Yes, I had problems at the end, but it was definitely better than Beetlejuice. So after careful consideration, I'm not saying we should do this all the time, but I'm like, it's still within the week.
It'll happen.
I know, but I'm like, and then I felt very confident about my list. I'm like, I like where my list was. It felt right. Because I don't want to bash my old ass. And I know this out of context.
Strange way to put that.
But so let me get to my first movie. I know I kind of teased this in the last couple of videos. My wife wanted me to watch this film with her. I'm like, all right, I'm in. And the first film I watched was Les Miserables. And so she, part of her class, she's taught this. They've, read the book. She's read it multiple times. She's told me, like, the translation from French to English is not that great, but, so I knew a few things. And also the musical, the stage production before I get to the film, what makes it different is every line is sung. And that I mean, you know how in a lot of musicals there's dialogue and then they bust out on the song, but this whole thing is song. So I know, love it or hate it, for some people that's fine. I'm fine with musicals. That being said, this was actually a really good film, Soto, because not only is every line sung, they did not do a sound studio. They did this while filming.
Sure.
So it's not like they're lip syncing. This is one of the first times a movie has attempted that, and I was impressed. Anne Hathaway has a killer song. Like, after she was done, I'm like, holy shit, she has chops. And I looked up, she actually won Best Supporting Actress for this film.
Wow.
And I was like, because, Anne Hathaway, she did I know she has some good acting credits, Brokeback Mountain and stuff like that, but she, came from Disney. But I'm watching this, like, I was moved during her performance. Like, this is fucking amazing. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Hugh Jackman was great. Russell Crowe was kind of robotic, but it kind of fit his character, so I'm going to kind of accept it. So I did like this. Now, so I'm going to say this, and this is now my gripe with the film, but there's a little gripe to it. I know me and you joke about movies being too long.
Yeah.
Now, this movie was 2.5 hours. This movie was like 2.5 hours.
That's not too bad.
So this movie probably needed 30 minutes more. I'm
Oh
dead serious. I
God
think if this
Almighty!
movie was a little longer, some of the characters might have had more development. Now, me and you have watched a lot of movies, and again, a lot of this story I've heard from my wife, so I kind of know some context to it. But at the same time, I have to look at it from just what the film is presented to me,
Hmm.
and I'm like, there are some characters that could have used maybe a little bit more, but it was a good watch. I liked it. The production was great. Like I said, the singing for the most part was great. Russell Crowe, great actor. I mean, I know he's kind of fallen a little bit, but he's still a fucking great actor. But he's
Yeah,
very robotic. But again, for his character, I think it kind of worked. So I was fine with it. But I was into it. I think the Anne Hathaway song, and I forget what it's called, but that's when I kind of clicked, and I was very toned in when she sang. So yeah, so I will admit I was a big fan of this. I like this probably a lot more than I thought I would, but I do like musicals. I know you're not a big fan of them, but I
I just
actually
don't
did
get
like
them. I mean, I look, I get it. I understand. I understand. I'm not like oblivious to it, but kind of like I don't know. What have you talked about? How you don't like olives on a pizza or something like that, or black olives? We've had this conversation, of course, about food, but it's just one of those things where it's not for me. The idea of people singing their dialogue, it doesn't track for me. If you're telling me to watch a musical and it's an hour and a half, I'll probably give it a shot. But if you're telling me it's a musical and it's almost 3 hours, I'm like, I can probably do something else with my time. And I'm not trying to crap on it because I'm sure it's well done, like you said, and it's got some great cast and great actors. But it's just not my thing. I don't do musicals, and nothing against musicals at all. It's just I can't take them seriously. So everybody. Some people like vanilla ice cream. Some people like strawberry ice cream. I don't get the musical thing. So. But I'm glad it was good. I don't know what it's about. It seems sad and French
so. Yeah,
and
it's
blue.
the French Revolution stuff like that. Basically, it kind of takes place throughout Hugh Jackman's life, his character, and my wife's gonna kill me because I forgot the character's name. Um, but
Wolverine.
he's in jail for about 19 years. He
Jesus.
basically because he stole some bread to feed his wife's son. So like there's
His
reasons behind
wife's
it.
son.
Yeah, his nephew. I don't know why I said it like that because of the song. Anyhow, it don't matter.
It don't
And
matter.
he gets out. He does his time, and he every year he has to check in for parole. And I'm not going to get into great details, but one time he missed it. So they're searching for him, but he kind of was able to make a life for himself.
Hmm.
He started a business. He's a mayor. Because mind you, this isn't like this time. So like, oh, here's this person. This is way back in time. I say way back by a few hundred years, but so it's not easy to track down people.
Not
But
like it
then,
is
yeah,
now. Right.
not like it is now. No, but then, yes, there's some that works for him. Anne Hathaway, she kind of gets kicked out. He has nothing to do with it, but she gets kicked out. And basically he finds her on the street. She's basically become a prostitute,
Hmm.
and she's dying. And he's like, "I will take care of you. I will find your daughter and take care of her." And then it goes through that story, as this young girl is growing up. So there is a lot to it, sort of, and that's why I'm trying not to get into it. But basically, it centers around Hugh Jackman from when he, gets out of jail or does his time.
Yeah.
Basically to the end of his life. So, and yes, and I bring this up because so back to the original thing we talked about with Beetlejuice, and My Old Ass. It's like
Hmm.
this is probably the best looking movie that I've seen so far.
Hmm.
Again, I know my list isn't as great as like a Lawrence of Arabia or even Oppenheimer, but yeah, this is the best production. The acting was amazing. But then it's like I look at the enjoyment because I told my wife, I'm like, I kind of was like, do I put this before or under Uncharted? That's where I was at with this film right now. And she's like, you're going to put this below a video game movie? I'm like, maybe, because Uncharted was actually a
Well, I
very
mean, it's a
enjoyable movie.
movie. It's not like we're saying we're putting it ahead of like the play.
No,
It's
but
like if what's the movie like? Like, is the movie good? Is it not good? Like, just like you're saying.
then, like I said originally, like this list is kind of my enjoyment of the films,
Yeah.
and so I did put it right underneath Uncharted. It's above, obviously, like Terrifier and all that stuff, which I think puts it at like fourth.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was good and I enjoyed it. And I didn't have a problem with it. I don't know if I'll ever see it again. Actually, if the stage production came around with a Broadway show, if they're still doing that, I would actually go check that out. I don't mind that. I know you don't, but I
I'm
don't
good
mind
with
that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I will check out this movie again, but I can definitely respect how great a film.
I just don't think I could take myself seriously if I was in an audience with something like this happening. Like, I didn't watch Hamilton. I didn't watch. I mean, I've been broke a lot of my life, and I feel like going to these stage plays and whatnot is for rich people. So I just picture a lot of rich people standing around and just watching like this and Cats and Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, that was so good. I saw that.
You saw that like in the.
I saw that play.
In the big, like at the Wang Center or something, or did you see it?
Oh no, this is in Minneapolis. I was across.
Yeah,
this
I know
it's not for you.
I don't understand. Like, if somebody was like, "Hey, you want to go to a concert?" I'd be like, "Yeah, all right." I'm old. Hopefully, I can sit down during it. And then somebody's like, "Hey, you want to go to a musical like Book of Mormon or something?" I mean,
dude, if you get a chance to see Book of Mormon, see that. That was by far the funniest shit I have ever seen. And if you like Matt Stone and Trey Parker, come on. It is so funny. They take it basically. If you're a South Park fan, yeah, you'll like Book of Mormon. It's that kind of comedy.
Yeah,
people don't think it.
Yeah, I mean, I like Cannibal the musical. That was funny, and that was Matt Stone, Trey Parker. But that I could be in my living room. I don't have to get dressed up and then go to a show and everything like that. Maybe I just don't like crowds. Maybe that's my problem. But again, I don't know if I'll obviously Les Mis. I think Sarah might probably like something like this, but I don't know if I would.
She might, especially if she likes musicals.
She might. I have to ask her. I should actually know this about my wife. This is a problem.
We won't say. Here we are recording that, but no, it was, like I said, it was very good. It was well produced, and like I said, the acting was just amazing. So it's definitely high up on my list. But yeah, so right now it is a tad under Uncharted.
Maybe I'll pick a musical and watch it. I have seen Moulin Rouge. That's a musical, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah.
All right, so to watch a musical this year. Let's see. Will it be part of his 100? I mean, there's room for it. I've been eyeing La La Land. That's a musical, right? I like Ryan Gosling. So. Yes. And if Ryan Gosling's in it, like, I could probably wrap my mind around it. So we'll see. More to come. Maybe Soto will watch a musical.
I think you need to watch one. Just one this year.
Okay. All right.
You got all year. You got all year. It can be a short
long year, man. We're January. What a month this has been.
It has.
So holy moly.